So I did promise you guys that we would do a kind of like a chit chat video on. I don't really feel like talking about the um the current crisis that is going on right now. Um Outside of like the videos that I put out where we did a little bit of like the critical analysis. I think that when on the beginning of the video that I answered your questions, I said to you guys that I wanted to do somewhat of a chit chat, just kind of like analyzing the political chaos that we have here. Not necessarily the political chaos, the fact that the country pretty much is, well, especially the city, pretty much is, people are holding the president of Haiti, like, how do you say it though? Like kind of like holding him tight so that he doesn't move. He's not able to move. He's not able to do anything. You know, I don't really feel like talking about it just because I always feel like I want to be able to direct people toward the future. Like I want to be able to like see through the smoke screen and direct you in a way where you're going to benefit from whatever it is that I'm putting out. Right now, I do feel like they have him by the balls. I do feel like that. I feel like they really have him by the balls. I feel like we're gonna go like with my intuition. Okay, so that's how we're gonna go with this video. I feel like they most definitely have him by the balls. I feel like the president of Haiti has a lot of like the problem that is going on right now is internal. I feel like it's a major problem that is very internal. I feel like he doesn't have any people with him. By people, I mean like, sometimes like president may have the people with them, or they may have the commerçant, like the people who do business with them, backing them up, and they may or may not have the international with them. When Aristide was in power, Aristide, when he first came into power, he had the people of Haiti with him, but he had excuse me, he had the people of Haiti with him, but he didn't have the bourgeois with him, the bourgeoisie, like the 1%. They were absolutely not with him. They were not with him. And he also didn't have the army. Remember, the army was there when Aristide was in power, so he didn't have the army with him. He didn't have these people with him, and he also didn't have the international community with him, but he had the people of Haiti with him. This is why they were able, the first coup d'etat that he got the first coup d'etat from the army. If you are around my age, I was 7 when they gave him the coup d'etat, but I was so into politics, guys. Like I remember clearly. I remember when he came into power. See, back in the days when the army was there, the army had to the coup de canon. They had to give him like 12. Right, that day when he came into power, they did not. I think it was 12 coup de canon or even cut. I think it was 12, and I think they gave him, either they gave him 10 or they gave him 11. They hold one, so that was to show him that they were not for him. See, when Aristide came into power, Aristide never understood that. See, okay, if you are going to be a president of Haiti, your main focus should always be to know who controls the country. And I feel like, I'm going to say from the time that I can remember, so we're going to go all the way back to Eta Pascal Trouillot. Eta Pascal Trouillot to me was the only one who had a decent time, like, in the presidency. That's from my childhood memory, right? Then after that, I still came into power and he didn't have these people with him. If we're going to tie in this video with Haiti class and color politics, you understand that the commerçants, the people who do business in Haiti, they have leverage, they control what goes in and out. So when you come in and you are against them, right, the international community is against you, your army is against you, you cannot make any move. And that was, yes, he had the people with him. That was like one of the presidents who had like the people of Haiti were with him. This is why when they, after the first coup d'etat and he came back, right, I think that he changed. I think that he understood how politics was done when they gave him that first coup d'etat, right? because when he came back into power, after maybe like around like 94, that to me, that was a different man who came. That was a very different man who came, and he really understood how politics was done, because that's when he started to deal with these people, right? That's when he started to deal with these people. But I feel like what he failed to understand, you see, the social class in Haiti is extremely prevalent, right? It's very, very prevalent. Although I'm going to say that because the world has changed, with the internet is now here, anybody can make something of themselves. It's not as dominant as it used to be when I was growing up, you know? So there are ways for people to come, even if you're not a so and so, and to establish yourself in a country like Haiti. People have to fight. Like, you can't bank being in Haiti now and having your family in Haiti. You can't bank on your name in Haiti, because everybody has like a possibility, and that's because we are in the era of the internet. However, back in the days, it wasn't like that. So I feel like when Isid came back from the first exile, he failed to realize that at the end of the day, even when he was dealing with these people would have never liked him. First, because of the color of his skin. Second, because of the fact that Isid comes from poverty. Isid is just a priest. He does come from poverty. And in Haiti, like I said before, the social class is very prevalent. So they dealt with him, but they never really like embrace him. So the second time around, when they took him back, like around 2003, 2004, I mean, he fought as hard as it could, which to me, I always looked at it sideways, because I always feel like, if you are for the people, right, and you see the bloodshed coming down, I think you have to think twice. I think you have to think twice. Do I believe that do I believe that we are living this? Because I think CL Tututu mentioned something like that. And I think some people compare that time, like what's going on right now, to what went down. And do I believe that we have the same scenarios like right now? No. No, 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 no. We don't have the same scenario. This is not what's going on. I do believe that the Haitian president right now has a major internal conflict. I believe that the international community is for him. They are for him because you guys know that they sided ways with the United States. And there are also major there are oh, give me a second, guys. Sorry. There are also major deals that I believe that he made, that to appease them. But the problem that he has is that, as I mentioned to you guys before, you gotta be able to see right now he doesn't have anyone with him. I don't think he has anyone. He doesn't have the people with him. Absolutely not. Don't believe that the people that you see outside of, he doesn't have the people with him. You gotta realize that I've been here for a year, and for the year that I've been here, twice he tried to put a government. He's unable to do that. Every time he chose a prime minister, they went against it. So that means that the people, they don't want him there. They don't want him there. Who doesn't want him there? And why is it that they don't want him there? These are the questions that we must always ask yourself. Who doesn't want you there? And why is it that they don't want you there? How many rats do you have around you? How many rats do you have around you? How do I think that this is actually pretty much, for personally, I feel like he's holding up pretty good, because he's not panicking. I feel like he's holding up pretty good. I feel like he's trying all the cards that he can. I feel like he knows that he is in an etoll, like can he make move? I don't know. See, that's the problem, because the conflict are internal. And these guys have him by the ball right now, because it's like it's gonna be a month, and the reality is we can't keep it up. Like, there has to be some type of compromise, right? So it's kind of like, what are they asking him? And who's asking that from him, right? And by who, I mean who's here. What are they asking him? And who's asking these things from him? See, so that's what we that's how we have to look at it. Am I for him saying, am I, who cares about what I'm for? What I'm for is to have a sort of like a stability, which I know it's not going to happen, not until after 2021. But the reality is, okay, what if he decides to step down? Who's going to govern? Or the UN going to come back to Haiti? If the UN comes back to Haiti, who's going to profit over that? What about China? Right? Because we do know that they are behind the scene too. So if he leaves Haiti right now, there's no government, so you don't have a prime minister. Technically, I do believe that the constitution would say if there was like a prime minister, if he stepped down, the prime minister would take over, but you don't have a prime minister. So it's gonna be like what? It's gonna be a gouvernement provisoire, like like kind of like in between government. You got, like, the people are not understanding and they're not using their critical thinking skills, right? Should the president of Haiti stay right now? I think that's the best bet. I don't think he should leave. I don't think, if he leaves, right, the question remains, if we say that he needs to step down, who's gonna come? Because these are major years. 2019, 2020, 2021. This is before the election of 2022. This is right before the US election. Who's gonna come? It's a lot of politics and chess game that are being played right now. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I gotta say that he's holding up. He's holding up. They are trying and doing their hardest to make sure that he steps down. Giving him a hard time. Like, I don't know if none of you have ever witnessed or lived that type of like we've been indoors for almost a month. Roadblocks. They only give you enough time to go to the supermarket, enough time to kind of like do the basic things that you have to do. But then it's kind of like you have to come back. You have to come home. This is currently, all schools are resumed sending work to kids through like the internet. Doing WhatsApp groups with teachers, sending like homework. That's how schools operate, right? No businesses can operate. Everything is closed. I do believe that they said tomorrow they're supposed to close, which really annoys me. Give me a second. Which really annoys me because tomorrow I actually have things to do. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I do have probably a lot more to say than I'm sharing. But first, I try to like keep my thoughts to myself because I am outside. Second, I just like to see how things are going to play out. But it is a very, very interesting time in the world, and it's a very interesting time in Haiti. I don't know. We'll see how things end up. I really can't. I don't know how things are going to end up. I feel like I'm out of I can't see. Maybe if I was outside of the country. That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to leave, because I feel like sometimes, when you're like leaving things too much, like sometimes I feel like my best vision comes when I remove myself. That's when I can have very, very great perspective. So, being here, I'm not saying that I'm going through the motion, which I am. I am going through a little bit, just a tad bit of the motion. But I feel like if I were probably like outside of the country, then I could switch things a little bit and kind of like see things from like very, very different perspective. I do see things from certain perspective. Like, I do understand that major money is about to be made. I do understand that, you got China behind the scenes. I do understand that the Americans probably or dealing with the Haitian president because they don't want to go left side and have the Chinese have like a stronger, probably a stronger hands in Haiti. I do understand also that there are people who know that they know that mad, good, like serious cash is about to be made, and they want to be in charge. They want to be in power, so they're cornering him. They're cornering him big times. What would I suggest to him? My father asked me that question this morning. He was like, "What would you do?" I could never share. What would I do? I don't think that this is the medium for me to ever say that because of. I just don't think I could ever say. I actually have to applaud him because he has been a very passive toward violence. Through, I can say that through all the riots, through all the chaos he has preached, he has remained extremely calm, like very calm. He's always saying, like, he's just very passive, very calm. He's always said that he's not going to reply with any type of violence. He's been preaching for dialogue. So he's pretty steady with his talks. Of course, he's been criticized. People are saying that oh, he should have said something else. But everybody is very different. The man understands what's going on behind the scenes. He understands the curtains. He understands that the people are against him. He understands that he has crooked people around him. He understands all of that. Webinar. Oh, leave me alone. He understands all of that, right? So he's playing his cards right. And I do see that he's tried his hardest to kind of like remove some of these crooked people around him. But the reality is that you can't operate with these guys. You cannot operate with these guys. These guys are all crooked. They are. So I don't know. We're gonna see. I do see and I do sense that it is an alternative that they're looking for him. He's tried, but every time that he tries something, they bite his hand. He tried with different prime minister. They don't want anybody. So he's cornered. He's cornered. That's the problem with that he has. He's cornered. They're not giving him any room to maneuver, and they're all ganging up on him. They're not giving him they're not giving him a way to maneuver, and he has too many things that came crashing down while he's here. This is one of the reasons that you don't take power when it's kind of like I wonder if he knew what he was getting himself involved in. Like when Mateli gave him the power and probably supported him, I wonder if he briefed him. Because if you're going to have your own people, like, Mateli, and you're going to be like, okay, you coming in. But did they tell him this is what you would have to deal with? Because I feel like the situation is above him right now. I feel like the situation is above him. I feel like he can't make move, and you can't govern like that. You got to be able to govern under any type of circumstances in your country. You got to show people that you can govern, right? You can't kind of like be like you don't know what to do. That's that's probably my only problem with him. I do sense that he is like confronted with a lot of stuff, but don't be too passive. Don't be too passive. When you are so passive, then you let people down. You let people feel like there's nothing you can do. Don't be too passive. How are things going to unfold? I don't know. I was talking to a friend of mine and she said, like, watch the UN come back to Haiti, and I don't want that. That's why I would rather have him, because I feel like if he's not here, then it's going to be madness. Then I feel like that's when the real crisis is going to come. If he steps down, I feel like that's when the real, because major deals, major. You don't want the Americans here right now. You don't want that. You don't want the UN here right now. And I feel like maybe that's what they're trying to create. See, in situations like this, you don't trust no one. You use your cards close to your chest. You don't trust no one. Because you make a deal with them, with the U.S. How do you know they're not funding and fueling the madness that's going on here? Because at the end of the day, if they were to send troops here in Haiti, it would be in their benefit. Although I understand that it's a lot. Like I was gonna say, although I understand, Donald Trump is thinking differently. He's not really thinking the way that the past government have been thinking. But we're going to say what's in it for them, you know? Hmm. 21 minutes. I'm gonna cut this off. Like, I know this was like a little vlog. Let me know what you think. Anybody has something to say? Anybody has like thought process going toward my own thought process? I don't know. I hope things don't get too crazy. We are today the 7th. I'll try to like work on this, probably especially this vlog. I'll try to like work on it this week and try to upload it for you guys like maybe this week. Because I'd love to see and hear some of your perspective in this manner. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching this particular video. I will see you in the next. I am going to go upstairs and get some work done. Okay, bye.